You exist in two worlds at the same time. People are noticing this, this about you. People feel like the strings that bind them do not bind you. You know what it's giving me from Naruto in the Fourth Shinobi World War. Omoi. It was right in the beginning. He basically has this sword technique where it's like it's I don't know, it's imperceptible. It's hard to see, but it makes these like precision cuts, and it can cut through things that are otherwise like really difficult to cut through. And the example is Sorcery, who can use chakra to make puppet strings and control people. And basically, he can cut those invisible strings and ruin his whole technique. And it's giving me like you have there's this about you to where people feel like you're not puppeteered in the same way that they are. And I don't mean by some overarching villain character. I mean from life itself. Life has everybody tied up in strings, right? You got to dance for the man over here and you got to do this over here or else everything's going to fall apart. And that all falls flat in your presence because you reject it and you thrive. And this is what people are like, what is actually going on here? What are you actually doing? Because it's like you have a level of freedom that is simply abnormal. And I don't know exactly why people are saying this about you, but they're noticing it to the point where it's coming across like if anybody tries to tie you up, if anything, an institution, like you find a way around it. Like you are almost like a rule breaker, but you don't break the rules simply to break them. You replace them with your own. And to be completely honest, it makes more sense. And this is really what has people thrown because usually somebody who completely throws away the rules that everybody else is following could be labeled as antisocial even, right? But that's not what you are. We got this Queen of Swords. It's giving me pragmatism, but it's a sort of logic to where it's like you recognize that just because it works for everybody else doesn't mean it's going to work for you, you know? And there's something alarming about this because it's like you'll venture off into the unknown. At least everybody's on strings together. And it's like you reject even that. And people are wondering, like, where do you get off? Where do you get the nerve to choose your own insight and your own spiritual guidance over what your eyes are seeing right in front of you? And it goes even further than that because you're not rejecting the mundane physical world. You are actively seeking to participate in it on your own terms. And you are almost militant about this to where you will reject society upfront to its face and still saying, I'm a part of society. And this has people thrown because it's not normal, right? It's like usually you got to pick one. Are you going to be a spiritual person and you're going to remove yourself, or are you going to be a worldly person? And you said you're both. This Queen of Swords, it's logic. This isn't coming from emotion. This is logical. I feel like because you recognize a fundamental truth. If you were here if you are here, it's for a reason. You have to do something. Just because you recognize the spiritual aspect of life doesn't cancel out the physical reason you're on this planet, which is to grow. And this is really what like people are like, well, how are you doing this? Who's guiding you? And it's like you have guidance, but you're also tasked with walking your own path. It's like I don't know. You're on like level 9. You're you're on something else. You know, the Queen of Swords is somebody who she kind of doesn't explain herself. I'm gonna be completely honest. She just does, says, is, and this is really what people. If I had to say what rubs them the wrong way, creates some real friction between you and other people, it's this. It's your unbothered, like you're unwilling to explain yourself. We got the Eight of Cups. This is somebody, basically, your motivations don't lie in the ego or emotion based. And it's like you have them. I feel like you're an empath. But basically, the Eight of Cups is like you being able to separate it's either your self-image or your emotional well-being from the status quo. Like you're not reliant on the status quo to feel like a person. Society could exile you, and I feel like you would say, no bitch, you're exiled, right? It doesn't work. There's something to where it's like, I don't know, you are society, I don't even know. You are society. If you just don't care, do you? And that's what people, I think, come to the conclusion of. It's like they can like talk about you till they're blue in the face and it's not going to make a difference. And honestly, I feel like you're still going to influence people. And this is what really gets people, I keep saying people, 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 because it is about them, because it's about your influence, about how they're perceiving you right now, that is a threat. Not from these people, but the world views it as a threat because you are capable of changing minds, right? And so it's like if you keep acting the way you act and you keep doing the things you do, people are eventually going to start asking questions like, wait, why is this person, why do they do things like this and it works for them, but I've been told my whole life that like if you act like that person, if you do things like that person, you're going nowhere anytime soon, right? You're going nowhere fast. And it's like, nah, because you seem to be going exactly where you think and want to go. And people are realizing that, like, maybe they don't have to wear the same strings. And this is where the world wants to get you on out of here, right? But they can't. You're here for that purpose, that exact purpose, to disrupt the status quo. We have the Lovers here. There is an authenticity and a wholeness and a choice to fully embrace a divine goal and a mission, which is to kind of bring, it's like authenticity. It's like there's something like where we bring it out in people, and whatever comes out, and after that, people have to deal with the fallout. And so it's like you'll be the villain in some people's lives, but you're not a real villain. You are the one that kind of caused a collapse to open the eyes of the people amidst the collapse, right? They need to see what's going on, and you just being you opens everybody's eyes. And so many things crumble in like your presence because you're not part of this society. You are, but you're not, right? It's like you are existing in society. You are a pillar of it, even, but you're not the same as it. And this is where people are like, how does this even work? It's like a computer virus, but you're not causing destruction. Any destruction caused is an attempt, like it's towards you, but it doesn't work. Think about it like, I have a lot of messages about like being a glitch. A glitch because you just don't follow the rules. You don't follow the rules, you break them like all the time. And this is something that's like, well, doesn't this incur wrath? And it's like, well, what rules are you breaking? That's, I think we need to break that down, right? There's nuance in that. Because I don't think you're breaking the social contract, meaning betraying the trust of people. Not at all. It's honestly quite the opposite. You expose the things that want people to believe they are not violating the social contract. And your presence alone proves it to be untrue. And when people start seeing it, it creates a cascade effect. And guess who gets blamed? You. And are you at fault? Yes. But are you supposed to do it? Absolutely. So you're not at fault. You're doing what you need to do, and whatever illusions fall to the wayside, I feel like you don't care. You absolutely don't care. And this is why people are like, be like, oh my gosh, how can this person do this? Like, you'll have people triggered because it brings something to a complete halt, right? Like your presence, it's like if you observe some bullshit, I don't know why, but it completely like freezes up. It's like it goes unseen. You know, you're giving me the scene from the Haunted Mansion from 2003 with Eddie Murphy, when they were talking to the ghost and the ghosts were like, is he looking at us right now? And they're like, no, there's no damn way. He can't see us. And it's like, yeah, I can see you. I can see you. And that's how this is coming across. There's some like hidden things that get by that don't get by with you. And you'll see it, and you observing it is almost like a call out in and of itself because you're not supposed to see it. Like, oh my god, you'll have this real pissed off. You'll have this pissed off because it's like it creates this Seven of Cups, especially if other people are seeing it, right? Like you'll make a comment and all of a sudden people are like, oh wait, I see it too. What the hell? And it'll cause like a collapse. And people are starting to reform their opinions on something that's been set in stone for God knows how long. And when I tell you, like, it's actually an incredible power. It's incredible, right? Because it's like things get innovated. This is how things get better. And I feel like you do this with the human psyche, right? This isn't really giving me like I mean, sure, you can point out the flaws in the government of the world. There's so many, right? You don't even get me started. But this is your observation of the structures of the human mind. Because the human mind works on predictability. And you are unpredictable, so therefore you cause a crisis, right? And your mind has been like almost retrained. It's a comfort zone thing. You have no problem getting rid of a comfort zone in favor of creating a new one. This is abnormal too. That's what this Seven of Cups is giving me, like kind of like dismantling something that brought safety. But what do they say about some types of safety? It can be oppressive. It can be suffocating. There's a very good quote about it. Choosing security over freedom means you deserve neither. And so basically, you allowing yourself to grow at an unprecedented rate by constantly shattering a comfort zone makes people wildly uncomfortable because they wonder, like, why are you doing this? Like, what is your goal? And I feel like your goal is to embody the best version of yourself. And there's also like truths that you know exist that you can't grasp yet. So you're growing to find them. You're on a type of like assignment that people just like, it's a drive and a dedication to something that people are not used to. Got the Seven of Swords. That's what I'm talking about. It's like there is an unknown black cat quality to you. The Seven of Swords always gives me the videos of cats being able to tiptoe around like an obstacle course, like of like literal markers. So if you breathe on it wrong, it falls over, and the cat doesn't knock a single thing over. That's what this is. People feel like you can tiptoe through a damn minefield, and these are people grilling you with questions, and I feel like you know how to answer every single one to the point where they won't have a follow-up. You kind of like, and it's a cunning and a wittiness about you on top of real insight that people are like, you probably don't want to mess with this person. You have 777. My book is also a 777, so it's like there's a very much a luck energy to you, and like luck as a stat, not luck as just random, right? It's a fluke. Nothing about this is a fluke. Nothing about it is. You've done it too many times for people to be like, oh, they're just lucky or they are good at guessing. No. You have insight. If you're that good at guessing, that crosses the realm into something way different, right? Collective. We have death. This is change. This is basically, like I said in the beginning, not being afraid to start over from ground zero. People are like, how many times have you had to rebuild? A lot, probably. And it's like normally people will quit after the first fall through. And it's like, if it's been 3 or 4 and you still get back up and you're better each time, people are like, that's just infuriating. Let me be real. I want to tell you that they're cheering. Some of them are, obviously, but other people get FOMO from it because it's like you'll remind them of the time that they set a dream down and didn't pick it back up. You can set something down, shit, you can shatter it and rebuild it. This is not something people are used to. The devil is people being bound by the strings that don't bind you. The devil kind of like, I don't know, has people dancing to his own tune, which I feel like is society itself telling people like, you can do this but you can't do that because you look like that and you are this. You reject all of that. I feel like that because you favor the perception of yourself versus the world's perception of yourself, it's like that's what your brain has chosen, and it's made all other things just moot, meaningless to you, unbothered, like don't care. Because again, the brain is a prediction machine and it runs off proof. You've provided so much proof that your mind is written off the status quo, and society as a whole is ignorant. And it triggers them. It triggers people. It triggers the hell out of people because they feel it off of you. They know it. They know it. So they know it when you walk in the room. They're like, this bitch doesn't care. This person is either going to rip me a new asshole or just disregard whatever hierarchy we've set in this building. It's like you walk in and no, because you're not looking up. Hell no, you're not looking up. No. And not that you want people to look down. I feel like you see everybody on the equal playing field, you know? And not in the cliche, like you're just so sweet way. No, it's like a literal way. Like, why would you view somebody as above you? Especially when you know how capable you are. So it's like, why would you place somebody above you because of a title? Like, you can make up your own title. That and then it infuriates people. I feel like corporate America hates you. Corporate America despises you, and that is good. That is good, you know. But hey, you know it's giving me no hard feelings, right? Because you're not apologizing. Yeah, this is what I mean by on the mission. You can't be turned away from it. It's been tried, you know. We don't even need to go over that. But basically, the thing you seek, you have such a good grasp on it that it can't slip through your fingers. You've made it real while you're slipping through everybody else's understanding. Like, just, I don't know, so like an octopus that can like fit through like a pinhole, but still is like structured, has muscles and strong. Like, you're not weak. You're capable of, I don't know, maneuvering in whichever way you feel like it. And I really like this energy from you. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. It has a bit of an edge to it because you don't care about what people think anymore. And this isn't like one of those turn the other cheek things. Like, of course, you don't go to hell, right? You don't, because you don't have time for that shit, right? If they go low, you go to hell. I feel like you don't participate in that. But what you do participate in is letting people know that you have a hard line boundary that will be defended. And if they don't want to get their head bitten off, they might want to tread carefully. Because I feel like that otherwise you exist in a state of whimsy. That, but when you need to like let someone know, you'll do it without a moment's hesitation. And then they'll be like, oh, see, this person isn't like that. And it's like, no, that's just called embodying both halves of oneself. It's like, again, if you think you don't have a shadow side, you're deluding yourself and you're honestly hindering yourself. Like, you're hindering yourself. If you really truly believe you're incapable of darkness, right? Because it means you can't make the choice to be light. If light is all you know, it's meaningless. It means nothing because it's not a choice. It's just a default state. If you add the other half of the equation into it, then it becomes a choice. Then it becomes meaningful, right? And I think I said this last reading where two concepts are needed to describe each other. One concept can never be understood by itself, it needs an opposite, you know? And that's what this is. This Knight of Pentacles here. It's giving me like in comparison to each other, you know how, or you know what to choose because you contain both. So you can make a choice. You have people realizing that they cannot make a choice like you do because of the fact that they don't have the other half, because they've spent their whole lives pretending they were perfect. You are the bane of these people's existence because you show them it's like, okay, and what? What is so good about being flawless? It's so boring and lame and it's fake, performative, and honestly, it's not real. And you're telling me, like, go get a grip. Because it's like the triggering that happens comes from this obvious level of maturity and experience that gives you a whole other perspective that these people do not have. And so they try to reject, but they are increasingly seeing themselves as foolish because you don't give up and you also don't crash and burn. So keep giving them hell, please.